Have you been living with arthritis pain for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to wake up without it? That familiar stiffness, the ache that greets you every morning, the constant reminder with every step, every grip, every simple movement, that your body isn't what it used to be. If pills and creams have become your daily routine, you're not alone. Millions of people live with this same struggle, chasing relief that too often comes with a list of side effects longer than the benefits. But what if real relief didn't come from your medicine cabinet? What if it came from your kitchen? Today, I want to show you something surprising. Not trendy supplements, not expensive treatments, just three powerful plant-based proteins, backed by science, that can fight inflammation, ease joint pain, and help you regain the mobility you thought was gone for good. These are everyday foods, affordable, accessible, and yet most people walk right past them in the grocery store, never realizing the healing power they hold. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these three foods are and how to use them to start feeling better, not in months, but in days. Living with arthritis means living with a shadow. It steals your energy, it interrupts your sleep, it takes away the little joys: gardening, fishing, dancing, playing with your grandchildren. It doesn't just hurt your joints, it wears down your spirit. And here's what most doctors won't tell you. What you eat can directly affect how much pain you feel. Some foods quietly fuel inflammation, turning your joints into hotbeds of pain. Others help cool that fire, bringing natural, lasting relief without the side effects of harsh medications. Your diet isn't just about weight or nutrition, it's one of the most powerful tools you have to control arthritis at its root: inflammation. This isn't new. Ancient healing traditions understood it for centuries. Modern science is finally catching up, proving again and again that food is medicine, especially when it comes to chronic inflammation. Yet conventional treatments focus mostly on symptoms, not causes. Whether you're dealing with osteoarthritis from wear and tear or rheumatoid arthritis caused by your immune system, one thing is always at the center: inflammation. It's the fire in your joints, causing swelling, stiffness, and that deep, relentless ache. Learning how to cool that fire naturally is the real path to lasting relief. Yes, medications can help, but long-term use often comes with serious risks: stomach ulcers, kidney damage, increased heart problems. Nature, on the other hand, offers alternatives that work with your body, not against it. The three plant-based proteins I'm about to share contain powerful combinations of nutrients that target joint inflammation. They help your body repair tissue, reduce swelling, and even support the rebuilding of cartilage and cushioning in your joints. They're simple to prepare, easy to include in your daily meals, and most importantly, they work. So if you're ready to take a new approach, one that addresses the cause, not just the symptoms, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share could be the turning point in your battle with arthritis. The moment when you stop managing pain and start reclaiming your life. If you're ready to stop just managing pain and finally start healing from within, then let's talk about an unlikely hero: lentils. Those small, humble legumes sitting quietly on grocery store shelves. No flashy packaging, no celebrity endorsements, no viral TikTok trends. But if you're living with arthritis pain, these unassuming little powerhouses could become your body's best friend. Because inside every spoonful of lentils is a remarkable combination of nutrients. Nutrients that work together to fight inflammation, support your joints, and bring real, lasting relief to your aching body. So what makes lentils such a game-changer for arthritis? First, they're packed with plant-based protein. And not just any protein, the kind your body needs to build muscle without triggering more inflammation. Unlike red meat and other animal proteins, which often make arthritis symptoms worse, lentils offer a clean, anti-inflammatory source of strength. And when you live with joint pain, muscle maintenance is essential. Strong muscles support your joints and reduce the pressure that causes pain with every movement. But here's the challenge: pain often makes you move less, and inactivity leads to muscle loss. It's a vicious cycle, but lentils help break it. 1 cup of cooked lentils delivers nearly 18 grams of protein, about 1/3 of what most adults need in a day. That's powerful, especially for anyone whose pain has made staying active difficult. But the magic of lentils doesn't stop at protein. They're also loaded with magnesium, a mineral most people, especially those with arthritis, don't get nearly enough of. Think of magnesium as your body's natural muscle relaxant. It eases tension around your joints, soothes stiffness, especially in the mornings, and even helps regulate the nerve signals that send pain to your brain. Many people who increase their magnesium intake report significant improvements, particularly with that cruel morning stiffness that can make getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain. Next, we have potassium, another superstar nutrient most often associated with bananas. But get this, lentils actually provide more potassium per serving than bananas. And here's why that matters. Potassium helps your body flush out excess sodium. Too much sodium, which is everywhere in processed foods, causes water retention and swelling, especially in your joints. By eating potassium-rich foods like lentils, you're helping your body restore balance, reduce swelling, and relieve the pressure that leads to pain. Less swelling means less pain. Period. But we're not done yet, because lentils are also an incredible source of fiber, which plays a major role in reducing inflammation throughout the body. Most Americans get less than half the recommended daily amount of fiber, and that lack contributes to chronic inflammation. Lentils provide both soluble and insoluble fiber, which help regulate blood sugar and support a healthy gut. Why does gut health matter for arthritis? Because science is discovering something remarkable. Your gut and your joints are connected. An imbalance in gut bacteria can trigger inflammatory responses that make arthritis symptoms worse. But the fiber in lentils feeds your good gut bacteria, helping to reduce systemic inflammation and improve how your joints feel naturally. And there's one more gift lentils give: folate, a B vitamin that plays a crucial role in lowering levels of a compound called homocysteine. You may not have heard of it, but homocysteine, when elevated, is linked to increased inflammation and joint damage. Lentils help keep those levels in check, adding another layer of protection for your joints. So let's review 18 grams of clean, anti-inflammatory protein: magnesium to ease tension and stiffness, potassium to reduce swelling, fiber to balance your gut and lower inflammation, folate to protect your joints at the cellular level, all in one simple, affordable, everyday food. Lentils aren't flashy, but they are powerful, and if you start incorporating them into your meals, even just a few times a week, you could start feeling a difference in how your body moves, feels, and functions. Because healing doesn't always come in a pill. Sometimes it comes in a bowl of lentil soup. Did you know that high levels of homocysteine have been directly linked to increased inflammation and worsened symptoms in people with rheumatoid arthritis? Here's the good news. By regularly eating folate-rich foods like lentils, you can naturally keep homocysteine levels in check, helping reduce yet another hidden trigger behind your joint pain and swelling. But one of the most overlooked benefits of lentils for people with arthritis is their iron content. Iron deficiency is surprisingly common among those living with chronic inflammatory conditions, and it only makes things worse, especially when it comes to fatigue, one of the most exhausting parts of arthritis that often goes ignored. The iron in lentils helps your blood carry oxygen more efficiently throughout your body, which means more energy, and with more energy comes more movement. And staying active is critical. Movement maintains joint flexibility, helps prevent stiffness, and breaks that vicious cycle where pain leads to inactivity, which leads to even more pain. Now at this point, you might be thinking, okay, lentils sound amazing, but how do I actually add them to my meals? The beauty of lentils is their simplicity. Unlike many other legumes, lentils don't require overnight soaking. Just rinse them, simmer them in water or broth, and they're ready in about 20 to 30 minutes. Here are just a few easy ways to enjoy them. Make a hearty lentil soup with garlic and onions, both of which also have their own anti-inflammatory benefits. Add cooked lentils to salads for a high-protein, filling boost. Simmer them with tomatoes and curry spices for a delicious warming dal. Blend them into a smooth, creamy dip or spread for sandwiches and wraps. And for maximum arthritis fighting power, try pairing lentils with other natural anti-inflammatories like turmeric, ginger, olive oil, or leafy greens. A simple bowl of lentil soup with turmeric, spinach, and a drizzle of olive oil doesn't just taste good, it becomes a form of medicine for your joints. Now let's move on to our second plant-based protein powerhouse, chickpeas. These round beige legumes may look modest, but don't let their appearance fool you. Chickpeas are a nutritional goldmine for anyone battling arthritis pain. Cultivated for over 7,000 years, chickpeas have been used in traditional healing systems for centuries. And today, modern science is confirming what ancient wisdom always knew. Chickpeas help calm inflammation and support joint health from the inside out. Let's start with their protein content. Just 1 cup of cooked chickpeas gives you about 15 grams of high-quality plant protein. This protein fuels your body's ability to repair damaged tissues and build stronger muscles. which helps reduce the strain on your joints. But what sets chickpeas apart from animal-based proteins is what they don't do. They don't come with the inflammatory baggage. Instead, the protein in chickpeas is naturally anti-inflammatory, meaning it helps calm the very symptoms you're trying to fight, not make them worse. But chickpeas offer even more than protein. They're especially rich in polyphenols, plant compounds that act like antioxidants. When you live with arthritis, your joints are under constant attack by free radicals, unstable molecules that damage healthy tissue and spark painful inflammation. The polyphenols in chickpeas work like a protective shield, neutralizing those free radicals before they can harm your joints. It's like having millions of tiny firefighters circulating in your bloodstream, putting out inflammatory fires before they spread and cause more damage. There's also one surprising nutrient in chickpeas you might not expect: vitamin C. While most people associate vitamin C with oranges or citrus fruits, chickpeas actually contain a generous amount of it, and this nutrient plays a critical role in joint health. Would you like me to continue with the benefits of vitamin C and wrap up the section on chickpeas, or move on to the third plant-based protein? Vitamin C plays a vital role in one of the most important processes for your joints: the production of collagen. Collagen is the primary structural protein in your cartilage, the smooth, cushiony tissue that protects your joints. But as we age, our natural collagen production declines. That's when joints begin to lose their padding, leading to that painful bone-on-bone contact that defines osteoarthritis. By adding vitamin C-rich foods like chickpeas to your meals, you help support ongoing collagen formation. That means more cushioning, smoother movement, and less pain. But chickpeas don't stop at vitamin C. They're also packed with magnesium, a mineral that's often depleted by arthritis medications and sorely lacking in most modern diets. Magnesium deficiency can cause muscle tension, increased pain sensitivity, and the kind of deep fatigue that makes living with arthritis even harder. The magnesium in chickpeas helps relax tight muscles around painful joints, reduces stress-related inflammation, and even improves sleep quality, which is critical for pain recovery and tissue repair. Many people report waking up with less morning stiffness and more freedom of movement when they increase their magnesium intake. But the benefits keep going. Chickpeas are rich in fiber, and this is another game changer when it comes to arthritis relief. When your blood sugar constantly spikes and crashes throughout the day, it triggers inflammatory responses, which can make joint pain worse. The combination of soluble and insoluble fiber in chickpeas helps stabilize blood sugar by slowing down absorption, keeping your energy steady and reducing inflammation from within. This is especially important if you're carrying extra weight, because excess body fat produces inflammatory chemicals that further amplify arthritis pain. The fiber in chickpeas helps you feel fuller longer, which supports healthy weight management without feeling deprived or hungry. And here's something many people don't realize: chickpeas also have an alkalizing effect on the body. The modern diet, full of processed grains, sugar, and animal products, often creates a highly acidic environment in your tissues. This acidity can increase inflammation and even lead to mineral loss from your bones, both of which worsen arthritis over time. Chickpeas help restore your body's pH balance, creating a more alkaline environment that reduces inflammation naturally and supports healthier bones and joints. So how can you start bringing these arthritis-fighting legumes into your daily life? The options are endless. One of the most popular and delicious ways is with hummus, a creamy, flavorful spread made from blended chickpeas, tahini, lemon juice, and garlic. You can easily make it at home in just minutes and boost its anti-inflammatory power with ingredients like turmeric, roasted red peppers, or fresh herbs. Use hummus as a dip for veggies, a spread on whole grain toast, or even a creamy sauce for grain bowls or sandwiches. Looking for a snack? Try roasted chickpeas. They're crunchy, satisfying, and far healthier than chips. Just drain, rinse, and dry canned chickpeas, toss with olive oil and spices, and roast them until golden. Whether you go with sea salt or exotic spice blends, they're rich in protein and fiber, and far more filling than any empty-calorie snack. Chickpeas also shine in hearty soups and stews. A Moroccan-inspired stew with chickpeas, sweet potatoes, and anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger becomes a deeply nourishing meal that helps your body heal with every bite. Or whip up a Mediterranean chickpea salad with cucumber, tomatoes, olives, and a drizzle of olive oil for a refreshing anti-inflammatory lunch that won't leave you crashing in the afternoon. Even breakfast gets a healthy upgrade with chickpea flour. This gluten-free, protein-rich flour can be used to make pancakes, crepes, or a traditional Italian flatbread called socca. a savory, satisfying way to start your day while supporting your joints. Ready for the next arthritis-fighting food in your pantry? Just let me know and we'll keep building your path to natural relief, one healing meal at a time. Flatbread called farinata. Starting your morning with something like this, rich in plant protein, fiber, and anti-inflammatory compounds, gives your body a real fighting chance before pain can take hold and ruin your day. And here's the key. The more consistently you incorporate chickpeas into your meals, the more you'll start to notice subtle yet meaningful improvements. Less stiffness, reduced swelling, and gradually more mobility, helping you return to activities you once thought arthritis had taken from you for good. Now let's move on to our third plant-based protein powerhouse for arthritis relief, and this one might just surprise you. Tofu. Often misunderstood as bland or boring, tofu has developed an unfair reputation. But when it comes to arthritis, this humble food could be one of the most powerful weapons in your anti-inflammatory toolkit. Tofu is made from soybeans, and it offers a unique combination of nutrients that directly support joint health. In fact, tofu could be called a superfood for sore joints. Let's break down why. First, tofu is a complete protein, one of the few plant-based foods that contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs but cannot make on its own. This makes tofu incredibly effective for tissue repair and muscle maintenance, especially around inflamed or damaged joints. When arthritis weakens your joints, the surrounding muscles become critical for stability and pain reduction. Tofu provides your body with the tools it needs to rebuild these support systems, without the inflammatory effects that often come from animal-based proteins. But tofu's power doesn't stop at protein. It's also rich in omega-3 fatty acids, those healthy fats more commonly associated with fish. Omega-3s work directly to calm inflammation by suppressing the production of compounds in your body that trigger swelling, pain, and stiffness, specifically cytokines and leukotrienes. Think of these inflammatory compounds as messengers that tell your joints to hurt. The omega-3s in tofu act like natural interceptors, blocking those painful messages before they reach their target. For people with rheumatoid arthritis, this can mean fewer flare-ups, reduced joint tenderness, and significantly less morning stiffness. But perhaps the most impressive part of tofu is its isoflavone content. Isoflavones are natural plant compounds that mimic the effects of estrogen in the body, in a good way. These compounds have been shown to protect bone density, reduce the risk of joint deformities, and slow down the breakdown of cartilage. In fact, multiple studies have found that people who regularly eat soy-based foods like tofu experience less cartilage deterioration over time. In other words, tofu doesn't just help with pain, it may actually help preserve your joints for the long term. Now let's talk calcium. Tofu is one of the best plant-based sources of calcium, especially the kind made with calcium salts, often labeled calcium-set tofu. One serving can provide up to 25% of your daily calcium needs. And unlike dairy, tofu doesn't contain the casein proteins that can trigger inflammation in some arthritis sufferers. This is a huge benefit if you're taking medications that slowly leach calcium from your bones. Tofu helps replenish that calcium naturally and supports long-term bone strength. And there's more. Most commercially available tofu is fortified with vitamin D, which works hand-in-hand with calcium to strengthen bones and support joint function. Vitamin D deficiency is shockingly common in people with arthritis. Studies suggest up to 80% of arthritis patients don't get enough. This deficiency is linked to greater pain sensitivity, muscle weakness, and slower recovery. By eating tofu, you're not just getting plant-based protein, you're giving your body a bone-supporting blend of calcium and vitamin D that's crucial for reducing pain and preventing further joint damage. In the next part of this series, we'll explore how to incorporate tofu into delicious meals, even if you've never cooked with it before, and the simple recipes that transform it from bland to brilliant. Stick with us. Your journey to natural arthritis relief is just getting started. Vitamin D plays a critical role in protecting your joints from accelerated damage, especially when paired with calcium. The vitamin D found in fortified tofu ensures that your body can properly absorb and utilize calcium, maintaining the delicate balance between bone formation and breakdown. This balance is what keeps your skeleton strong and resilient against the ongoing wear and tear of arthritis. But tofu's benefits don't stop there. It's also a fantastic source of selenium, a trace mineral with powerful antioxidant properties. When you're living with arthritis, your joints are under constant attack from free radicals, unstable molecules that damage healthy cells and drive chronic inflammation. Selenium works by neutralizing these free radicals before they can cause harm. In essence, it creates a protective shield for your joints, guarding them from further oxidative damage. Research has shown that many people with arthritis have lower selenium levels than average, and increasing your selenium intake is linked to reduced pain and improved joint function. Now you might be wondering, what if I've never cooked with tofu? What if my family won't eat it? These are common concerns, but here's the great news. Tofu is one of the most versatile foods you'll ever work with. It comes in a variety of textures, from silky smooth to extra firm, so you can use it in countless ways depending on your preferences and cooking style. If you're just getting started, try extra firm tofu. It's the easiest to handle and most similar to traditional proteins in texture. Start by pressing out the excess water using paper towels and a heavy object for about 15 minutes. Then cut it into cubes, marinate it with your favorite anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, garlic, ginger, and a splash of soy sauce or coconut aminos. And pan-fry in a little olive oil until golden and crispy on the outside. Add these delicious tofu cubes to grain bowls, stir-fries, salads, or wraps for a protein-rich anti-inflammatory boost in every bite. Want something creamier? That's where silken tofu shines. Its smooth, velvety texture makes it perfect for blending into smoothies, adding protein without altering the taste. You can also use it to create dairy-free sauces, dressings, or even desserts. Blend silken tofu with cocoa powder, maple syrup, and a touch of vanilla for a chocolate pudding that satisfies your sweet tooth without triggering inflammation. And if you're still unsure about the taste, here's a secret. Tofu is a flavor chameleon. On its own, tofu is mild and neutral, but that's actually its biggest strength. It soaks up the flavors of whatever you cook it with. Whether your tastes lean Italian, Mexican, Asian, or Mediterranean, tofu can be seasoned and styled to fit perfectly into your favorite dishes. Think of it this way. Plain tofu is no more boring than a raw chicken breast or unseasoned rice. The magic lies in the preparation and the seasoning, both of which are completely under your control. Now that we've explored the joint-supporting power of lentils, chickpeas, and tofu, let's talk about how to make these foods a part of your daily life. Here's the good news. You don't need to change everything at once. In fact, small, consistent changes often lead to the most lasting results, especially when managing a chronic condition like arthritis. Start simple. Maybe that means adding lentils to a soup once a week, or roasting chickpeas for a crunchy, satisfying snack, or trying a tofu stir-fry on a quiet evening. Once you feel comfortable with one of these foods, add in a second, then a third. Within just a few weeks, you could be enjoying all three regularly without ever feeling overwhelmed. And as you begin to explore new recipes and discover what you enjoy, these powerful anti-inflammatory ingredients will naturally become staples in your kitchen. The more frequently you include them, the more you'll notice the difference. Less stiffness, fewer flare-ups, and a return to the movement, ease, and energy you thought arthritis had taken away. Because healing doesn't have to come from a bottle. Sometimes it starts on your plate. The real power of lentils, chickpeas, and tofu doesn't just come from what they do individually. It's how they work together as part of an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Imagine a single meal where these three superfoods join forces. Picture this: a warm, nourishing bowl filled with lentils as the base, crispy roasted chickpeas sprinkled on top, and golden tofu cubes seared to perfection. Drizzle it all with a bit of olive oil and season with turmeric, ginger, and garlic. Each ingredient brings its own set of inflammation-fighting nutrients, but together they create a synergistic effect that supports your joints from multiple directions. It's not just food, it's strategy. Timing matters too. Many people with arthritis feel their worst pain and stiffness in the morning, which makes breakfast the perfect time to take action. Try a smoothie made with silken tofu and antioxidant-rich berries, or a savory breakfast wrap using a chickpea flour pancake as the base. Even an overnight porridge made from lentils and oats can deliver a powerful dose of joint-friendly nutrients before your day even begins. This proactive approach helps you get ahead of the pain, rather than chasing it once it sets in. And remember, consistency is far more important than perfection. Even if you only add these foods to your diet a few times a week, you're already moving in the right direction. Listen to your body. Many people start noticing subtle shifts, like less morning stiffness, more energy throughout the day, and gradually decreasing pain during movement. Consider keeping a simple journal. Track your pain levels, your mobility, even your energy. Over time, patterns will emerge, real proof that your food choices are making a difference. That feedback can be incredibly motivating. Just don't be discouraged if change takes time. Arthritis is slow to develop, and it can be slow to unwind. These inflammatory processes have built up over years. They won't disappear overnight. But many people report meaningful improvements within just 2 to 3 weeks of consistently adding these healing foods to their meals. The key? Patience and persistence. Stick with it. Trust the process. Let your body respond to the natural medicine you're feeding it. Lentils, chickpeas, tofu. These aren't just ingredients, they're allies. And they're just the beginning. As you start to feel better, you may feel encouraged to explore more anti-inflammatory strategies. Fresh fruits and vegetables, omega-rich seeds, healing herbs and spices, all of these can join forces with your 3 protein powerhouses to deepen your results and extend your relief. And through it all, remember one vital truth. Your body wants to heal. It was designed to repair, restore, and regenerate. Pain isn't your destiny, it's just information, a signal that something needs to change. And with each bite of these healing foods, you're not just masking the pain, you're addressing its source. So open your pantry. Make space for lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. These simple, affordable, and accessible foods could be the key to unlocking the relief your joints have been waiting for, all starting with your very next meal.